Hello and welcome to another video from the Silver Citizen. If you like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't miss a video. Share it on your social media, get the word out. Alright, let's get into it. This one is about the useless friendly against Barcelona. Ended 3-3. And the one thing I said when it happened, that if City ended up getting an injury in the game, then whichever dickhead decided to have a friendly in the middle of two important games, one of which we've already dropped points in against Newcastle, and the other one we don't really do that well against. We've won one in the last four against Crystal Palace. They're actually kind of like a bogey team for us at the minute. To stick a friendly in the middle of those two games, two important games, I said if anyone gets injured, the dickhead that decided to do it should be fired. And within the space of 45 minutes, the idiot that decided we'd have a pre-season friendly, a useless charity match in the middle of a season, fucked up both teams. Two teams in one 45-minute spell. Calvin Phillips for the first team, Luke and Betty for the under-23s. How long are they going to be out? God alone only knows. But anyway, as for the game itself, wasn't really an exciting affair. There was nothing really happening. You could kind of tell that both sets of players were probably thinking the same thing as me. What is the fucking point on organising a pre-season friendly in the middle of the fucking season? On top of which, during a World Cup year that happens in December. So we're going to have to squeeze all of Europe's games in 2 months early, and then squeeze a load of games in thereafter, as well as international breaks, because there's an international break that happens, that's coming up before the World Cup. There's another international break. Both sets of players were probably going into this game thinking, what's the point? But I'm not asked about Barcelona's players. I couldn't give two shits about Barcelona. City's players were playing reserved, playing within themselves. Now, for the first team players, it really doesn't bother me because, like I said, the only thing that I was interested in, pretty much like the Liverpool Charity Shield match, was that no players get injured. The result didn't bother me. The performance didn't bother me. As far as I was concerned, the only result that mattered when we were playing Liverpool was West Ham. While we were playing Barcelona, the only result that mattered was Crystal Palace. So it didn't really bother me that the players were playing within themselves. What bothered me was the academy players doing it. You had Rico Lewis in the first half. He had a couple of opportunities to show what he can do. And the only thing he decided to do was turn around and pass back to Stefan Ortega. He'd get the ball, he'd have oceans of room in front of him. He'd stop, he'd turn around, he'd pass it back to the keeper. Luke and Better. You've got Aymeric Laporte that's injured, still. You've got Nathan Ake, that went off injured against Newcastle. And you've been given 45 minutes to showcase what you can do. This is your chance, because the transfer window's closing soon. We're not really going after any other players. We don't know how long Ake's going to be out. We don't know how much longer Laporte's going to be out. If anything happens to Diaz or Stones, this is your chance to prove to Pep that you should be given the chance and not have someone like Rodri stuck in centre half and put Gundogan in the holding midfield role. And the same thing, the only thing he did was pass sideways or pass back to the goalkeeper. Didn't do anything. There was no expression of himself. If you haven't got the balls to do it in a friendly match, in a meaningless charity match, to try things, to do things. I mean, the first team players, they don't really need to do it. Let's be honest, Pep already knows what they can do. Pep trusts them. They're going to play games. The EDS kids, what can you do at this level? Here's a team that's going to be playing Champions League football, that's got some world-class players, and a coach that Pep likes, that is trying to get his players playing the same way he played under Pep. What can you do against this kind of opposition? Wilson-Esbrand. He came on at the start of the second half. Within 2 minutes, he got the ball. He went on an amazing run like he did all game against Bayern Munich. Went past about 3 or 4 players. He should then have put it into the middle. I don't know who was in the middle. I think it was Alvarez. But he should have played it into the middle. He made the mistake of trying to knock it past the last defender and beat him for pace. I say mistake because the last defender was about 5-6 yards away from him. So when he boots it and goes to beat him for pace, the defender's got a 5-6 yard head start on him. Wilson-Esbrand didn't get anywhere near the ball. That's why I say it was a mistake. If you're going to try and get closer to the ball, keep the ball closer to you. Wait for the defender to come to you and then put it round. Try and get it round the defender. If it doesn't get round the defender, it doesn't get round the defender. No harm, no foul. But it was a mistake what he did. And after that, he never had the balls to do it again. Why? Every time he got the ball thereafter, the only person he passed it to was either the goalie or the defender that was behind him. Cole Palmer's another one. Cole Palmer got the ball, was scared to death to run at anyone. The only thing he'd do is turn around and go backwards. Oscar Bob got the ball once after he came on for Mbete when Mbete went off injured. He got the ball once because there was only about 5 or 6 minutes left of the game. But he got the ball, he had the chance to run at a fullback. What did he do? Turn around and passed it back to the left back. What is the point? You're in a friendly match. It's a charity match. There's nothing riding on it. Win, lose or draw, it doesn't matter. Crystal Palace match matters, and you won't be in it, any of you. This game doesn't matter. This is the game where you have the opportunity to showcase what you can do against some great players. It's probably the reason Phil Foden's the only one Pep has actually brought through. Because when Phil Foden got given the opportunity in a meaningless friendly against Man United and was in the midfield alongside the likes of Paul Pogba, and can't remember who else was in United's midfield at the time. It might have been Nemanja Maric or someone like that. Phil Foden ran that midfield. Oh right, City got beaten the friendly 2-0. Phil Foden ran that midfield. Phil Foden was by far and away City's best player because when he got the ball, he went to express himself. When he got the ball, he went to make things happen. Granted, it didn't happen every single time. But even when it didn't happen, he got the ball and he went to make it happen again. And Pep was probably sat on the sidelines thinking, this guy has personality. This guy will continue to do it time and time and time again. Every single time, this guy will do it. So, Phil Foden was the one that kept on getting more chances in the first team and more chances in the first team until a couple of years ago he broke into the squad. Because when the other kids are given the opportunity, i.e. Barcelona, they play within themselves. They're scared to do anything. They're scared to make a mistake. If you're scared to make a mistake in City's team, you don't belong here. Because the way City's teams play, they're going to make mistakes. It's about having the confidence within your convictions that when you've made that mistake, you'll do the same thing again. Because you know within yourself that you're capable of doing it. That's the kind of personality Pep's looking for, and I think the young lads let themselves down against Barcelona. Alvarez scored. To be quite honest with you, I think he should have scored more than that. He had another good couple of opportunities and fluffed his lines. But he'll get more opportunities and he'll do better in the future. I have no doubt about that. Ortega should really have saved the first goal that Barcelona scored. De Bruyne was at fault for the second one. I think it was De Jong scored the second one. If it is, De Bruyne was at fault for it. But this is the kind of personality I'm talking about. 10 minutes later, Kevin De Bruyne did exactly the same pass. Only this time it reached his target. We got a penalty. Haaland went down. Personally, I think it was soft. I mean, there was a little contact as I think it was Christensen was running past. His shin caught Haaland's heel. Was it enough to make him go down? I don't think so. But he went down. The ref gave a penalty. It was soft. But then again, there was a lot of challenges that happened that was soft and the ref was giving free kicks. So maybe he's one of those referees that any kind of contact, it's a foul. Who knows? But anyway, it ended 3-3. Performance wasn't great. It got to the point Liverpool I thought was poor. West Ham was a vast improvement. Bournemouth was a vast improvement on that. Newcastle, well, I've already said my piece on Newcastle. And this one kind of went back. I'm hoping when it comes time to Palace, it's as much of a vast improvement between this match and Palace as there was between Liverpool and West Ham. But yeah, the person that decided to stick a friendly in the middle of two important games has fucked things up for Pep by giving him another injury. And also now we've got absolutely no competition for Radra. And I think the academy players that came in and got given an opportunity should have took it. Should have got to the point that if they get sold, or more to the point, when they get sold or loaned, they're not going thinking, if only I'd have done this, if only I'd have done that. When City sell you, when City loan you, go with no regrets. Leave everything on the field. Because if you haven't got the personality, confidence and balls to do it in a friendly, what makes Pep think you're going to have the balls to do it in an important match? But anyway, that's my piece on that. Until next time, adios amigos.